Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the 10th in the series of the Unknowable This Zoom meetings. Wonderful to see so many of you. Wonderful to see so many new faces as well. As you can see, I'm here with the lovely Rachel Mclean. I'm sure if you've been following my YouTube feed, you've seen a couple of Rachel's stuff pop up there. You've probably seen her work. If you've not seen her before, work's a rather grand title. If you've not seen or heard of Rachel before, do check out it's Rachel Nonduality, your YouTube.
Rachel Nonduality.
Rachel Nonduality. There's some wonderful shorts on there. We're probably going to be doing a few things together, so keep an eye on that. Just before we start, a couple of things to bear in mind. Somebody's been asking when the next live events are. So the list of upcoming live events where either myself or Rachel and myself, or Rachel on her own, will be speaking live. They're on the website at the moment. They've gone up. That can be found if you go to the top of this YouTube page. There's links, and if you go to the More About Me bit, it's got a website there with all the upcoming meetings. So, for example, Rachel and I are doing PAX Lodge October the 17th. So, if you're available and up for coming to London on October the 17th, come and have some fun with us. Celebrate this message, and it can be booked there now. There's Hampshire in November, Brussels in December. I think that's about everything. As ever, with all the Zoom meetings, either if it's on my own or with Rachel here, as ever, it's entirely free of charge, although donations are, of course, always welcome. But we leave that to you. Love and trust you all. I'm going to hand over to Rachel now to do an introduction. Uh, and as ever, afterwards, if you want to share something, say something, just feel free to unmute yourselves or raise a hand. Rachel, huh? Over to you.
So, so it might seem like there's a separate person and separate people living their lives. Things to achieve, goals. But that's not really happening. This just seems to be energy just expressing through all bodies, completely impersonally. So from the absolute, there isn't a person already. And all there is what appears to be happening. So looking at a screen, faces, lights. So yeah, we can talk about it and share if you like.
You can put up a digital hand now, a little yellow hand, or you can just wave your arms about, and I'll see you guys. This is an invitation, divine friends. Nothing other than the invitation to what already is. It's an invitation that can't be accepted personally, but it also can't be refused impersonally. This is something that's been yearned for and feared at the same time. This isn't something you're going to work out. It's all about energy. It's the subtle energy that's hidden in the riddle
How?
hearing that there is already no you there. That me energy is an illusion of being there. It's not your you. It's an illusion of being a person there, alive. It's already not there.
Yeah, in a sharing like this, there can be an energetic kind of letting go can seem to happen. But nothing to do with personal understanding or working anything out. It's purely energetic.
Mm. Hello to all the people I was just admitting then. I haven't said hello. And hello, Abu. It was great chatting to you the other week, my friend. I really enjoyed that. I appreciated your honesty and vulnerability the other week, my friend.
Hi guys. Okay,
Hey,
speak. Yeah,
David. Hey, David.
yeah, yeah. I had a funny thing happen. I'm clearing out our roof space and with boxes and boxes of old photographs, going back to David as a baby and all that, and some even further back than that. And it was strange because like the only photographs I was interested in were the ones that I was in. And I thought in the light of non-duality that was kind of comical.
It's
No,
funny.
any that I kept. Well, sorry, not any that I kept. A lot of the ones I kept with ones with the with this character, and it's just a funny observation. That's all.
Do you know what, David? I like that observation. The fascination of the me by the me is so shockingly total that
Yeah.
it cannot but be hilarious that in the apparent story of falling away, the fact that it's so utterly dismissible that it's not thought of once again. There's not an impulse, oh, I wish that me was back in operation. And
Mm.
all the dramas of its dreams and ideas are seen to be absolutely nothing. It's so important, its life to it. It's so important, its journey, its seeking. And when it seemed to be already not there, it's the greatest of divine humiliations and humilities.
Can I just say something? You guys are
Hello?
sort of half cut off in the frame of the picture. Is that the same for everyone? Yeah, yeah. Tobias, if you would move to your left slightly, it's just
I'm getting cut off.
your faces. I'm getting the left hand
That's
side.
your screen. That'd be your screen.
Maybe it's
That
my
this is
screen. Is it? Is it
yeah,
my
because
screen?
I'm watching the screen that's
All
recording.
right.
If
Okay. Sorry.
sorry, let me just check that, David. Other
Okay.
people can see me. Yeah, you can see the whole of me.
Yeah, better now. It's
All right,
better
okay.
now. It's just when you're on
It's
the mobile
okay. Yeah,
screen,
sorry.
you're cut off.
Yeah.
So I don't want half of Tobias.
I do look a lot bigger. I do look a lot bigger than Rachel. I look like a mighty beast, don't
Uh,
I?
no, I'll put you on the full screen. It's
Do you know,
easier. But
David? I won't be indiscreet and mention who it was, but I have a good friend in the community who often calls me for one-to-ones or calls me for talks, and he's a soldier. This guy, higher, and he was on a raid recently, and he was telling me he ended up in a position where he had this guy on the floor with his foot on his back. The guy's a professional soldier. that he was doing his job, and he had the gun on this guy, and the guy turned around and he saw that it was someone from his elementary school
Oh
and
my.
junior school that he'd always envied, that always got all the girls, that was the popular guy, and he'd
Mm,
always envied. And he was telling me that he just started laughing because he saw the nature of the me's egoic presumption of being, wow, look at that guy now, and look at me, literally with my foot on his back and my gun at his head. Total dominance. Look at me. And he was laughing, rather unprofessionally, he was laughing at the absurdity and the
mhm,
hubristic nature
mhm.
of that me to be so excited by that. And having the humility to admit that. But yeah, we're talking the same thing, the me's utter fascination with itself. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Because I sort of wanted to. There's certain landmarks and certain, I suppose, what I'd call it achievements, and I wanted to share those with what's now my family, and I kind of thought this is just like so contrary to I come here on these Zoom meetings, you and I text each other, and it's it's like this divine fascination with itself. It's it's
This
pathetic.
it's the glory, it can't be navigated.
No, it certainly can't. And you can't make anything out of it either. Do you know what I mean? There's no point sitting there going, "Oh, you shouldn't be interested in yourself." You know, that's just a that's that's just that's making it into teaching, as it were. But it was just a fun thing to do, for its
That
own
you
way.
find humor in it is like the bleeding of the tension of the drama of it, the
Yeah.
seriousness of that situation. That you find humor so readily in it is the seeing of its insubstantiality. The dawning of that hearing is like that. The why the Divine Mother is pictured laughing is the divine joke of the presumption of I am and I can and I will are all seen as hollow boasts.
Yeah. This also, they didn't seem real. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I put off doing this for a long time. This photograph thing, because my mother passed away a few years ago, and they were all her boxes. And I sort of put it off because I thought this was going to go so emotionally devastating. And it was a sort of a throwaway thing. It wasn't emotional at all. And I kind of, that part of that was that there was something here that sort of saw that it wasn't real. It's not. I don't know if that makes sense. Not.
It makes more than
Yeah.
sense. We were just talking just before then. Rachel was just telling me about having thrown things away and that just no longer seemed in any way relating to.
Things that did seem to be very important and
Yeah.
valuable when there was a personal sense there, yeah, just weren't anymore.
Yeah. It's strange. It's a.
Mm.
Yeah. I get a sense of that about a lot of stuff. I mean, I have a reasonably comfortable material type life, but I get a sense that more and more it means, that this would be happy sitting in a one bedroom flat, or whatever. It wouldn't really. It means less and less. It has less of a hold, if you like. But anyway,
Exactly.
I thought I'd share that anyway. But when I was texting you yesterday, I wasn't laughing much, so I wasn't in such a happy place. But a
I'm
nice
pleased to
thing to
see a
do.
smile on your face, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you, as always.
No problem. I mean, it is interesting, everyone, what David's talking about there. I mean, fundamentally, what we're speaking about here is a bleeding out of that authority of meaning with which this appearance seems to travel, carrying the implication that the appearance is of a real thing that's really happening and really has consequences. What's more, to me. And the whole weight of that energetic belief and the confirmation of it and the investment of energy in it That's the circle that's going round. And in the mysterious hearing of this message, it's that same weight of the authority of meaning that's bleeding out. And it can be routinely the case that things that would have fascinated the character are just seen as, oh, well, it's what's, it's what's appearing. And it's not nihilism, it's freedom.
Mm. Yeah, it seems to be sort of a lightness in a way. Whereas when there's that sort of illusory personal sense, it can feel like a really weighty, you know, and really serious, like carrying around a big rucksack of rocks everywhere with you, and it just keeps adding to those rocks and it gets heavier and heavier. It's kind of like just putting that bag of rocks down completely and like,
There was a sound of radical non-duality. Tell me it wouldn't be.
yeah.
Totally it would.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, you would possibly say none of that ever happened. You know, what's contained in those photographs didn't really happen. Is that fair to say?
It is.
Yeah.
Even though
This is the problem that ultimately, well, it's not a problem, but nothing happens. And I do invite you to place this emphasis and stress on either word in that sentence. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Happening is to my mind, the semantic meaning or the essential meaning of happening is a story about separate things acting on each other, creating a situation. That doesn't occur. It's just the appearance of happening. Can I just cut to Abu? Abu's had his hand up for a bit. Cheers. If it's all right, David, we'll come back. Abu, yeah, please go, my friend.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that part where you mentioned where you just like it's like that relaxation where you go, like the breathing out, the exhalation. It's like it's the only thing I want these days. It's just to just breathe. Like my me or like whatever feels so loud. It's so heavy. Every small decision, every little tiny thing, it's just like major cons like in my mind it's like it's gonna have like major consequences, like how will they react, how will they, if I do this, if I send a message, if I, everything is just massive, big. um Not to mention like this, the just the tightness in my body is just so severe. It's so it's like it's squeezing me like a straitjacket. I think that was somebody mentioned it before, and it's just like when is that I just want to breathe, that when is that exhalation gonna come? It's just like honestly, it feels like torture. It just feels horrible.
Mm. Yeah, there can be a real sensitivity to that illusory sense of separation for some bodies. There
Yeah,
definitely was here as well for the character.
yeah. It just everything just it's like it wasn't as loud before as it is now. Like everything sort of heightened and gotten louder uh and worse in a sense than
But you
like if I
know where
remember many years ago when it was.
you know where the point of trouble's lying, though, mate. I mean, like right in the center of your sentence lay the formulation. When is this going to end? When is this tension going to end? The tension is the lookout for that improvement. So it probably won't, whilst the lookout for the when is still there. That tension is there. When am I going to get rid of this burden of myself? I'll look here, I'll look there. When am I going to get rid of this thing that I'm not carrying? When I'm going to like that, and that's not ever something that happens or achieved. It's just that relaxation is almost the same energetically as the hearing that there is already no you there. Now, I know that I'm presenting like this, like it's some kind of credo or something that we can believe in, and perhaps even like a mantra. We can say it again and again, and if we say it enough, maybe we'll totally believe it. That's absolutely not what's being said here. What's being said is these words aren't important, but energetically behind that line, behind that exposure, lies that energy that undoes the tension that is the holding onness of that me's energy. It's not Abu holding on to it. It is holding on to its own energetic, habituated belief in itself. And just the hearing of this message, it doesn't have to be from Tobias or Rachel, it doesn't matter what speaker, nothing special about them. There's nothing had here that you don't. It's just energetically. The mystery of that illusory me is hearing that it is already not there. It's an illusion of being there, with the part of history backing up, backing its claim up, saying, well, look, I was there. I've been having this life for 20 years and a whole story is had. And all that pain and all that suffering, that's mine. I own that. That's my suffering. This is my story. But all of that is just what's appearing to happen. It's just that energy of the me, that tense me-like energy, feeling uncomfortable with itself, feeling uncomfortable because it's hearing that it's not really there. And it's tense and it's wanting to insist on its there-ness and doesn't even really want to hear this message. But that is all in the energetic hearing of this message, the undoing of that tension.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with any of that either, you know,
Yeah,
everything
if
that you described there.
yeah, it feels wrong. Like it feels like it shouldn't be happening. Things are getting worse. My life is getting worse. It feels like that. Even though there's like a knowing that it isn't, like it's fine, but like it feels like that, you know, like
Yeah.
internally. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I even wonder to myself, like, how did I even discover this? Like, how did I even get here? Like, I don't like I was never like a spiritual seeker or anything like that. I just had like terrible like I had like a horrible time with um like OCD and like some like psychological stuff, and then it just went from like the power of now to more stuff and more searching, and then it
That
just
was your gateway drug, was it? And you got
yeah, it
hooked.
just came here. I was like, how did I even get here? Yeah,
If there's an energy there, pained and uncomfortable by its illusory contraction in a very mysterious way, it can call to it this message, shall we say. And it's just
yeah,
the invitation for it. This message is essentially whispering to that tension that does not want to let go. It yearns to let go, but it doesn't want to do it. It's scared of doing it. And there's something about, very mysteriously, the component of unconditional love in what's being spoken here that is whispering to that tension that it's okay, that it doesn't have to hold on in that pattern anymore. And I understand that it's scared because it doesn't know what will happen. It doesn't know who will be in charge, but it's already not there and it's already not in charge. It's already not doing anything. But it finds that hard to believe. And so that's why this is all about energy. You cannot do anything about this. The me doesn't have agency in the way it imagines it does. So it's an energetic hearing that it's an illusion. And that's the magical, incredible thing. It's so mysterious. It's an illusion that just evanesces, just disappears, and never was.
And that intensifying of all of that as well can be part of an energetic unraveling too.
Absolutely.
yeah,
The loosening and unraveling of all of that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like from the last meeting that I had, I mean, like from the last Zoom that we had, like at first there was like excitement happening and sensations and like, whoa, like yeah, like it was great. And then throughout the week, it just life just became more and more depressing and hopeless and just. And then I remember listening to like a Jim Newman like intro. I couldn't like listen to it anymore. It was like, you're not getting anything. You're not. This is the end. There is no answers. Nothing. I was just lying in my bed and I felt like 1,000 bricks were just on me on my chest and I couldn't get up. And my cat's just like meowing outside, like, open the door. I'm like, I can't get up. I literally cannot get up to open the door. I feel like there's like a weight on me that I can't move. It's like it's like maybe I guess I always needed a reason to do something. It's like now there's no reason to do anything. Like how do I move?
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know. It just felt so heavy, and the whole week felt so hopeless and just absolute hopelessness, d depression, sadness, whatever. It just felt awful.
It's like Rachel just said, this can be a facet of the hearing of this message because, may I suggest, I can't pretend to know, but it can very often be the case that within the hearing of this message, because naturally it's being heard from the position of a me, that it believes it's a person with a experience in the past, in time and space. So it's hearing this message, and it might be hearing about the nature of meaninglessness and pointlessness, and it might start thinking that, oh, so this is meaningless in a way that is the opposite to meaningful. Like it's meaningless, and meaning could be elsewhere, but it's definitely not here. And so the body might start staying in bed or overeating or not exercising because it might appear to be embracing the nihilistic notion that this is meaningless. But it's understandable to hear that, but it's not what's really being said. So whilst it's the case that there's definitely appears to be a feeling of the pressure of that constriction, it's added to that sort of depression of it all feeling meaningless as well. And it's very much about hearing this message, but just energetically, it's missing the fact that it's meaningless because there's nobody there to whom it could be meaningful, and there's nothing legitimately happening that is generating consequences that could be the bearers of meaning in any dynamic system. So meaning has gone in the divine revelation that there is just this. There's just this, and there's nobody secondary to that to whom it could be meaningful. Now, that to a me can seem a bit bleak, and it can
Yeah.
be very constricting, that contracted energy, when it's felt as me, mine, I'm owning that, and I don't want it, especially when I don't want it. And all that can just relax. It is all that relaxes because there's a desperation to solve that puzzle, but it's not a puzzle or a problem that can or needs to be solved. In the relaxation, all the stories you're telling will be seen to just be stories. So they don't get solved. They're just seen as utterly empty. And it just collapses into the immediacy of just this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what you said, like, I mean, it did feel like very like terrifying, like caring, like meaninglessness, and all of those words just seemed absolutely
Mhm.
terrifying.
Mhm.
Was
Yeah,
it?
it's like like what's the point of living then? And all of those thoughts come into your mind, and you just like you lose interest in things. You don't enjoy things, and you mentioned the overeating and all of that stuff. It's like yeah, like every moment feels dull and empty and just yeah, yeah, definitely. But I do understand what you're saying, that meaning, um, I guess to the individual, like I mean, the individual hearing the word meaninglessness, um, can seem very scary. But then when there's nobody there to whom it can have meaning to, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, and
It
it's the
makes
fact.
sense what you're saying. It does
Yeah,
make
I
sense.
mean, if you appreciate that what goes out of the appearance is the substantiality of it being a real thing in real time and space, then what would a story even mean? A story about what?
Mhm.
It just, there's not even a, it's like meaning. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just like, doesn't even, meaning doesn't make anything because it's just this, not this, meaning that. It's just this. And that's total relaxation, total annihilation, and total liberation.
And there isn't someone separate to be like, oh, that's disappointing, or you know, it just is. It's just aliveness.
Because there's no person there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, thank you.
No problem at all. Cheers, Abby. Sorry, Rachel's got lots of these weird squeezy things on her desk, and I'm having a wonderful time manhandling Rachel's squeezy things. You'll excuse the expression. There's quite a few names I'm seeing of people I haven't met before. Can I just say hello and welcome if you've not come to this channel before? It's really good to see you. If you ever want to ask a question or share something, just remember there's no silly questions here. Anything can be said. We're
Yeah.
very casual here.
Even just sharing anything as well doesn't have to be a question. Yeah, just chatting really.
Oh, I've got something that might interest you guys out there. In the ever ongoing search for further words to try and describe the indescribable, um, I've come up with something else I might try and offer you. There's something about the quality of this natural reality that's very cozy. I know that sounds like a personal word, but there's something about summing up the wholeness. It's not that there's a person in it and in deep, comfortable coziness. There's something that's so holistic and total, so without border, that it's very much like an embrace, but not somebody in the embrace, an embraceless embrace, a coziness, a holdingness, if that helps anyone.
But I mean, there must be something more than just hearing it, right? Because I mean, I've heard the message 1,000 times, and I feel like I really like get it on some level, but I still like feel like a me, you know?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm just. It's Andrea there. Do you want to?
Hello. Sorry, I was trying to see you. Would you mind saying that again?
And no, it just feels like there must be another, like something more than just hearing it, you know? Like an energetic component or something.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I feel like I hear it, you know, and I understand it and I get it, like deeply get it, but still not live
Yeah.
it really, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a completely energetic, just like a sort of an energetic sort of letting go can seem to happen. Yeah, and when we're sort of sharing like this, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It is purely energetic and not really to do with the words. Yeah, that can be remembered here as well. Like there was kind of a real like, yeah, I get it. I get it, but I'm still waiting for something, you know? Yeah. But it's tricky because there's not kind of like a process. It seems to, vary from body to body and there's not kind of a process or a guideline for it, you know? It's just kind of seems to be an energetic unraveling that can just sort of slowly happen or quickly. Yeah.
You know, Andrea, that's the for this heart, that's the most precious bit about radical non-duality to Tobias, because you're 100% right. This has said those words 1,000 times. I bet you've been to 1,000 meetings where you've heard exactly the same words. When we say hearing this message, it absolutely doesn't mean acoustically. I've often repeated one of my favorite lines of Jim's, where he says, sometimes if we listen in just the right way, nothing can be heard, which is very playful and very poetic. And obviously, we don't have to listen in a certain way. But what he's trying to touch upon is what Andrea's just mentioned, and she's correct. It's 100% about energy. But what do we mean when we say that? So, Andrea, if you can imagine, what we're talking here is when we say words like, there is already no me there, it doesn't really matter those words, what's being said, or semantically. There's an energetic pulse, if you like, or shock to that statement that's heard energetically, and one is confronted by it energetically. So that me's energy, and all it is to it is like a tense energy. It might go into retreat and want to fight it and go, no, 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 no. It might want to investigate it, which is another way of hiding. It might want to stay as a subject, investigating, knowing it, trying to work it out. It'll never do it, but it'll try. But what's being suggested is that there's something subtler, and that's an energetic dance between the mysterious energy that moves within this message and that which claims it's separate. And that mysterious energy from this message can suddenly twist around and between and twine itself around you and invade you so thoroughly that suddenly there's nobody left and there's just no thing. The seduction of this message, the divine seduction of this message, whispering to you all the time that you are already not there. That's not a getting, that's not a knowing, that's not a journey. It's the energetic collapse of a pattern of energy that was called me. And that pattern gets a bit wobbly, a bit out of kilter, a bit erratic, and it slows down. And blah, as Rachel said before. Blah, blah. That's all energetic. Nobody's getting anything in that or losing anything.
Mm.
And even if you were inspired to then say, okay, Tobias, so how should I hear this message then? That's exactly the point. There's not a you who can perform the better hearing of this message. It's the energetic hearing that no, there's already no you there. It's an illusion. So like whatever the illusion is dreaming up, it doesn't stand on solid ground. There's nothing that it can generate can meet the total destruction of that statement. It's annihilation and liberation at the same time.
Hello, Tobias. Hello, Rachel.
Sorry, is it someone speaking? Is that Juha?
Yeah.
You might. I think you need to put your volume up. We can't quite hear you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll come back just a second. Wait.
Are you there, Juha? Are you trying to speak? Yeah, Juha. Okay.
Okay, now can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Salam.
All right. So yeah, Just wanted to say hello and share that here. It's somehow this Andreas comment triggered this. That somehow there is this growing disinterest in this narrative, and it's somehow really funny how it seems to go that there's like a build-up of the narrative, and then it sort of like collapses immediately since there is no substance to it, and nothing seeing nothing in a way, nothing seeing that there's no substance to it. and this narrative seems to go on that it sort of like starts like, hey, I have to do, and then it's sort of like in the middle sentence starts to like fall down because I don't know, maybe it can be this hide and seek thing also, but it obviously it doesn't matter. But just wanted that this interest is the sort of like the closest I could say now what's going on here. This interest of the narrative.
Yeah, like an energetic sort of sense of the non-reality of everything in a way.
Yeah, yeah. No. And maybe this sort of like somehow this not caring about, since I shared with Tobias earlier, like a couple of weeks ago, about this somehow this that not seeing this sort of like how tricky the me process is, the apparent process is that this becoming is so in everything, and it was the words are so hard.
It's
Not
unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
incredible.
and then it's somehow just like bloop, it's somehow just seen that it's the the thing is there and it doesn't matter, and it's so actually funny
That's the thing.
what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah, yeah. And in
People think it's going
relationship,
to change and look all like bright lights and flashing lights.
yeah,
Nothing
it's the most
changes. It's this
ordinary. Yeah,
simplicity. Yeah.
yeah, it's so ordinary. It's so funny
Exactly.
at the
Yeah.
same time. Yeah. And in relationship, I have shared that somehow this dynamics and how it's been playing out in this with another person who has no interest in this is that the arguments are so funny because suddenly when there's an impulse, you can there's suddenly just like this impulse comes here, and then it's sort of like, where the fuck did that come from, and it's so laughable, like how can there be like so strong opposition, like opposing comment on something, and it's so like a miracle that's happening, and
Totally.
yeah, it's so funny, the dynamics are really off, and that confuses the other apparent person, obviously, like what the hell is going on, because I should be arguing but I'm laughing, so it's really funny. Yeah,
I can
yeah, but it's
totally
so,
identify with that. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, but so ordinary. And I remember like years ago hearing some like Kenneth Madden or somebody say it's not what you think it will be or something like that. It's not what you think it is. And now I sort of like, totally, it's not. It's just this. It's not. Yeah, it's not something.
I think you can put it better than that. I think you
Yeah.
can put it better than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this character was expecting some kind of like constant state of bliss or something.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Like relaxed as everything is relaxed and wise. Everything comes from this wisdom, and
Yeah,
and it's sort of it's happening. Yeah. So yeah, the words are really tricky. And I remember saying to Tobias, it's crazy. It's like crazy is I think the best word for me. I like the cozy also, but I would say crazy.
Crazy. Definitely crazy.
Perfect.
There's never ever a day that, like, if we're talking, or if I'm talking, that it's not considered shocking, crazy, amazing. I mean, it's no way is it blasé. It's very shocking that immediacy is. I mean, you're right. The me could never, ever, ever, ever imagine it, because any formulation, it would be in it. It would, even just the
Yeah,
imagining of it would be the duality of that.
yeah.
And without that, with just the immediacy of this, when even these words aren't in any way separate and are just this wording, and so are pointing to nothing and meaning nothing. I mean, is that not hilarious? It's just
Yeah.
insane. It's just never anything other than fully and totally just this. And so
Yeah.
whatever conjecture about it being otherwise is heard but it's just also heard in just the immediacy of just this.
Yeah.
There is simply no separation.
No.
No such thing as the me.
No.
And relatively speaking, the body still carries on just doing its thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually, the other day, it was so funny that things like always were just happening. And then suddenly this voice said like, but who would now care about this experience if it would be not there anymore? And I somehow, it was really funny. And I think it somehow sums the narrative of me, like care about this experience, like there should be this witness to care about this or something like that. Or it was so funny. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's the end of that, isn't it? That sort of
yeah.
constant narrative, analyzing things and trying to make it better.
Yeah, yeah, that constant becoming and this really subtle becoming. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was the description you used before? It was like constantly trying to change and adapt something, mold something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I am me with autonomy. This is the world. Let's go. What do I do?
Mm.
Do I put it here? Do I
Mm.
mix it there? Do I do that? And that tension, that febrile, uncomfortable, nervous energy is of itself desirous to go.
Mm. Yeah.
It's not even a million miles away if you imagine. Imagine you had a really bad argument with someone and like you left the room and it's like, there was that tension. It would want to be shouted out or you'd want to calm down, but that energy of itself intrinsically would be looking to resolve and quieten down. As just a product, an apparent product of the nature of that energy. And without making a story about it, it's just we're talking about the same grit tension that's looking to go
Mm.
and die into that relaxation, that held tension looking to resolve. It's the macrocosmic existential orgasm, the held tension of existential life. I love that the French call the orgasm the petite mort, the little death. I think it very accurately captures that microcosmic celebration of the collapse of dualities.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, no worries. Is that Freddie there with his hand up? Hey, good to see you, Freddie.
Hello.
Hello.
Just to follow up on the petit moi, more. I was thinking of Abu, and I was just so empathetic to the heightened, seemingly uh, increasing tension, and the talking about the bricks on the chest and all of that, and um, that somehow, in your analogy of the let go of an orgasm, and of course, talking anything sexual it seems to be taboo. It is here anyway, because I live in America, so we're very puritanical here. But anyway, um, the the French, connection to that, to what we're talking about here in terms of orgasm is that it does increase, to the point of such heights and then it lets go. So just, I don't know, words of encouragement, if you like, for Abu, is that it is there is seemingly within the natural let go, that it seems to increase before the let go.
Well, so if I could, sorry, can I? Okay, I get what you're saying, and there's an internal coherence to the logic with that. But I don't think we need a story to prop that up. It's more meant in poetical, the very poetic discussion of incredibly subtle energies. And the reason why I like that to make that point is because it's not an activity, the letting go of that me. The me or Freddie does not perform the letting go. I was trying to summon a way of describing that it's more intrinsic and integral to the nature of that energy itself. That curious illusory energy has the capacity or the quality, shall we say, of holding on to itself, being like a web energetically of intermeshed, interlarded stories about me and my relationship through time and objects of my life. And that's all going round and round. And because it's so much like that tension isn't a me that goes and gets something, but rather is seen to be nothing at all. And that relaxation is a indescribable relaxation of energy into nothing. I was trying to summon up that tension that's of itself will go, yes, 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 and relax. And I like to, Abu, I didn't mention it to Abu, but sometimes I'm inspired. This character will tell the story when he hears stories like Abu described again, almost referencing that microcosmic orgasm. I don't need to or mean to make it such an analogy, but again, I like to use the idea of when we have that frustration of mehood, so-called, tense, contracted, hurtful, painful, engendering upset, discord, discomfort. I like to suggest playfully and 100% energetically that beneath all that and a little further down still, and then a little further still, there's something like a tiny little bubble of yes, that as it ascends, it expands, and energetically there's a yes, 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 yes. It's not said by the person, by the character, but energetically, it's letting go of its fears of not being seen in this way or that, but it's a yes, yes, yes to total freedom. And that yes, yes, yes to total freedom, whilst the saying of that yes energetically, well, then we become the man made of salt who went to measure the depth of the ocean. We can't get to talk about it after that. That yes has burst through all the negative contraction, and there only is the absolute obviousness that this is just all that there is. Nobody's saying that or hearing that. It's just booming in as and of all that there appears to be.
Mhm. It brings to mind the moment of falling asleep as well, where you're not, you're not, you can't make it happen. It's not you happening. It's almost like sleep is, you're taken away
That's a
by
good
it.
example, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's nothing to do with that sort of personal sense at all. It's just
Yes.
purely energetic. Yeah, and it seems just to be completely random as well. Just randomly. Ah, no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, it's funny, this coming to this message, the whole kind of sense of meaningless and meaninglessness. I did this thing called the Landmark Forum, and you've probably heard of it. It's like it was used to be called EST, and they it's very intensive, and it's like a kind of group therapy where you're encouraged to really kind of confess to all of the secrets in your head, and it's very kind of intimidating. But if you're brave enough, you go to the front and you cough up any things that you're ashamed of yourself and that type of
This
thing. And
isn't a
then,
blackmail Ponzi scheme thing, no.
oh yeah, it's all of that as well. um, and I mean, it's got links to Scientology
I
and
was
all of
about to
that.
say,
But
this sounds very
yeah, no,
Scientology.
absolutely, absolutely. You know, it is. It's but having said that, you go through these that they get you in the morning and you don't leave until very late at night, so you're exhausted, and then you just you have to come back. And it's a 3 day, very intensive, and but they take you through a series of conversations where you look on a kind of whiteboard, and someone will stand up and say, well, my father abused me and all of this. And so they say, okay, well, that's what's the meaning you're making out of that? That's the story of your life. So you're encouraged to take the story of your life and look at it and then see how you have interpreted the things that have happened to you. And so it's at the end of the 3 days, you go into this conversation, having been on the telephone with people, and I actually called up my stepfather, and I, I, I got him in there. He came down from Cambridge. It was being held in London, and he, they started doing the selling on him, and he absolutely blew a gasket. Um, but anyway, long of the short of it was this final conversation about the meaning. Life is empty and meaningless, and it came at me from left field, and I just remember my jaw dropping to the ground, and it was my first moment of that exposure of life being empty and meaningless. Anyway, cut to 25 years later, and I come across, Jim Newman and various other speakers, and during COVID, and I was just suddenly reminded of the kind of feeling of what that is, that empty and meaningless, and that it's empty and meaningless, that it's empty and meaningless. And uh, anyway, I'm not quite sure why I started on this, but anyway, I was just giving you some thought.
But that's the juice there, mate. That's what bleeds everything out, that it's empty and meaningless. Because that's the end of the authority of all your suppositions. Of any story you can tell will be built upon the notion of separation. And when that rug's pulled from under one's feet, and it appears that life goes on, well, that's the royal joke. It's play. It's divine play. Utterly meaningless, but not meaningless in a way that meaning lies elsewhere, but it ain't here. It's meaningless because it's just this, not this meaning that to him.
Right. Yes.
It's
Amazing.
freedom, brother. Real freedom.
Much love to.
Hey, much love, Freddie.
Yeah.
I think it was Abu next. You want to bounce back, Abu?
Yeah, just listening to your conversation just reminded me of those awareness based practices that I used to do like about a year ago, where it was about conquering your ego. So like you're afraid of something, so now you must go and attack that thing to get rid of that storyline and to get rid of that, and just constantly doing that became so tiring. It's just so exhausting. It's like, okay, so like there's a story in your head, like let's say, like for example, this person doesn't like you. All right, so go up and speak to that person. Oh, okay, that's not true. But that whole thing was just so tiring, constantly overcoming your ego, constantly overcoming your fears or whatnot. And even now that still like sort of plays out in my mind, like, oh, I'm scared of this thing or this. You know, let me prove this storyline is not true. Let me prove this is, and it's just so exhausting. It's so tiring. It's like working on your ego. It's just extremely, extremely tiring.
Yeah, it's just endless, isn't it? It just seems to go on and on and on.
Endless, just doesn't, yeah, it's just exhausting. It's like, okay, it's like if I get rid of all my storylines and all that stuff, then
Yeah, exactly.
bliss. And I remember a speaker online on YouTube saying, like, once it's done, like once you've cried it out, bliss. He used those words. He was like, bliss. I was like, oh my God, I want that bliss. Where's that bliss? Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's just that
Thank you.
search could be, it's just, yeah, it's just really tiring.
It's double tiring because it's not just tiring, but you're now in proud possession of the story of being the one who is tired by it. Yeah. So it's not just that you were tired by it, you now are identifying as that person. So it's the difference between, you know, if Rachel cut her hand, there might be pain, but it's a different thing if it's suffering would be a different thing. That would be like the identifying of the one owning the pain. And this is my story. I'm Mr. Owner of the pain or Miss Owner of the pain, and I'm suffering it. And like that by no means is a judgment on you, Abu. You know that I don't mean that for a second, but it's a quality of that energy that it's already investigating how it's going to get rid of its stories. Well, that is its story. So it's created a new story about how it's not going to have stories. So it's going to be interesting. This is my story. I am the Mr. Getter Ridder of stories. It's endlessly going round and round.
Just another
And
story.
if that's not going to be frustrating, then there's something wrong with you, mate. If that's not frustrating, because it's
Yeah.
literally going round, banging its own head against the wall, chasing its tail. That's why we speak about a relaxing of that subtle system, because what's not going to happen is a successful completion of that project. It's not going to be, I think that's all the story's gotten rid of now. Nice one. I'm enlightened. It's just not like that at all. What
Yeah.
falls apart, stories go on. So we can talk about how we spoke last week. That would be a story. We can speak about that. What doesn't happen though is the notion that that's referring to an actuality, something that separate things or people did in a separate thing called the past. This is just the absolute immediacy of this Zoom meeting appearing, of these hands waving about.
Yeah, and there's no continuum, so there isn't any end mark.
Yeah. Like even though I know it's all BS, it still seems to go on in my head of the like like the striving, that energy still seems to go on, even though I know it's BS. And also and even though I know this message is not saying anything and it's hopeless, there's still that energy of, like even like earlier before this meeting, there was this excitement to come to the meeting that I may get those sensations and those feelings that I had last meeting, and it might happen and something might happen. And then there's like, oh, why are you feeling like this? You should be hopeless. Because the more hopeless you are, the more depressed you are. That's when it's gonna happen. You can't. There's no way that I can. There's absolutely no. It's just like you mentioned. It's the story after story after story after story, and it's just gonna keep going until it doesn't, I guess, or whatever happens.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's just, yeah, constant. Yeah.
But I tell you, maybe that if Rachel, if I dive in first, but I don't know about Rachel, but what if I could say a difference there was here? If I could make a story of Tobias's approach to the same issue that you had there, right? There was something that appeared to occur here where there was an ending of the addiction that was attempting to extract meaning from this appearance. So something quietened down here that was trying to endlessly put all this in an order and into a story that I would buy and be satisfied with. Like try and put this into the story that I'm buying. And that function seemed to quieten down. And when there's not the temptation to try and, or the addiction to trying to extract meaning from this appearance, then it's like the weight and the pressure is much more closer to the relaxation of which we speak. I know I'm sort of implying a process. Sadly, it will always be seen like that. through the veil of something that's believes itself moving through time. But what's really being said is that energy of the hearing of this message, it might cause a seeing of that tension, and that tension might be desperate to get out of it and looking for all different ways to resolve its problem. But it's just the repeated hearing that no, that's the illusion. That's the illusion, that tension. And it's already not there. That's the incredible illusion. It's an illusion of being there. And that stress and discomfort, when this in the when that stress is almost foregrounded against the vibration and energy of this message, it's seen that it's almost contracted and tight. And we want to do something about it, but we are the contraction. And so it just hears this message, and very mysteriously, it can just relax. It's about absolutely not being judged, not being seen, and it being okay for it to just let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, connecting to stories as well, like connecting emotions to stories. And that just, there's kind of a memory of that just sort of like slowly kind of fading away as well. So emotions, emotions still arise in the body, all of that stuff still occurs, but there's just not a commentary like a story about it. And, oh no, why is that happening? And, oh, we need to suppress that and we need to quieten that down. That doesn't feel good. Oh, I need to distract myself with that. It's just like this constant kind of energy of escape, and that kind of seems to just fade out, So all of these things can still arise in the body. All of these intense emotions can still arise in the body. Random thoughts can still appear, but there's just nothing for it to hold on to.
I just, I feel just, I just feel emotional. I feel sad. I don't know why. Just feels, yeah, not sad in like a bad way. Just,
Yeah, of course.
It's not uncommon to have a little mourning of it. We're
yeah,
talking about in its own terms the
like
death.
you want to cry. You just want to
Yeah,
let something out. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with that, dude. Like
Absolutely.
laughter and tears are the release of that. Laughter and tears. That's the way physiologically the body releases tension.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, there can be a lot of intense emotional releasing. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Freddie and one other. Yeah, Freddie next. Yeah.
Just to follow on from what Abu was saying about feeling like crying, I last week, I don't even know what was said, but I think it's just certainly I'm very, very moved now in someone, I don't know who said it, where you're not seen. That there's the this space is so just the words I can't even, I want to say beautiful, but that doesn't even do it. Is the fact that it's there will not be another space where there's other human beings and there's such a lack of judgment. And the it's one thing being judging yourself, but also it is the judgment of other people. And I think when we're young and when we're children, that is the absolute. That's the pain, is that there is this, you're not enough. You're told you're not enough from the earliest age, and that this space is the antithesis of that. And it's very moving to me that, and it was last week, where somebody said something, and I said something, and all of a sudden there's tears coming out of my eyes, and it didn't have to mean anything,
Mhm.
but the release and the relief energetically, as you were saying, was palpable, and I didn't label it. I didn't give it any meaning. It just passed through me, and I just wanted to encourage Abu not to label it or give it any meaning. It's just energetically something's shifting, and I just love what's going on here. That's it.
That's it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, and that's beautiful to share and beautiful advice, and I certainly second that. That's beautiful.
So natural. Yeah. Just that energetic kind of allowing somehow of the emotions to just arise. Yeah.
Do you know, Abu, I'll share with you, a few weeks before this fell away, there was I don't think, I can't remember if I've ever said this on a Zoom. I don't normally tell people this, but I'll share it. I was on my own and I was walking around, and I was in Italy. I was in these fields and I was on my own. And it was like, I often don't go to bed at night. A couple of nights a week, I don't go to bed at all. And so I was up all night on my own. And if I'd been a woman, it would have felt like I needed a really good cry, right? But like, I'm not cried from something sad since I was like 9 years old. I don't have that capacity. I can cry in grace and happiness, but I can't like get that. But it felt like it needed to be done, but I couldn't do it. And so I was sitting out on this hillside in Italy, and suddenly there was all like sheet lightning, not like straight lightning, but lightning above the clouds. And it started to pour down. The whole universe was crying my tears for me. I couldn't do it. And everything was crying. And suddenly there was this incredible wave that went through this energetic system of unbelievable, impersonal self-forgiveness. Nobody was forgiving Tobias. Tobias wasn't forgiving anybody, but there was an energetic self-forgiveness. Now, that's a quite strange term, but what I mean by that is it felt like the summation or the totality of all the energy that's been invested in. Oh, I really must, I really hope I will. I really have to, I really must make sure that I don't be seen like that. I hope I get seen like that. All that effort, all that promise, all that investment of energy, almost in the poetry of that which we're discussing, had to be told it's okay not to conclude. It can just be, you know. And it was something like a crying for all those promises that the character made to itself, that the story will not end. This story doesn't reach a denouement, a conclusion. It just collapses into the stories being no longer substantial or real. There's not an arriving. And so all that energy of hope is like a tension. And it just like you say with those tears, it was just a release of that tension. And then there was that increased freedom. And in that increased freedom, this message was easier and easier to hear. There's so much investment of energy in that me. Hey, Big Empty, are we, Abu, are we all right if we jump to Big Empty? We'll come back if you need. Hello, Mr. Big Empty.
How's it going?
Groovy as ever. And you, my friend?
I'm good. Yes.
Sorry, hold on one sec. Your Wi-Fi, just hold it. Have you got a better Wi-Fi spot? You're cutting in and out, in and out.
No. Okay, no. Is that better?
Give it a go. Give us a test sentence, and I'll see if I can hear you. We can't hear a thing, mate. I can't hear a thing. None of it's coming through, I'm afraid.
I'll leave it.
Yeah, if you just try again in a moment, we'll see if it works. This is so wide open. So wide open. This isn't a thing that exists far away from you. It's this. Wide open, ready to receive you, shall we say. Abu, I see your hand up again. Are you up for a question?
Yeah, no, I
Ava?
just wanted to say that like earlier when you said when you're not being seen, that's when like the emotions really came up. That it's as soon as you said that when you're not seen, it's like I felt like seen all the time and judged all the time. And now these days, even more than ever, like I feel like every eye that I see is like judging me. Every single person's judging me, and every person I come across outside is like it's like they can see all the stories that are happening here. Like they're looking through me, and yeah, it just yeah, that part got me really like emotional. And the part where you mentioned about that cry, that release, it's just it, like the difficult thing is I can't even that I can't do. It's like I can't even release tears. It's like they'll come up to here, but they
Mhm.
won't come out. And it's always like this these past few weeks, it's just been coming up, but it won't come out.
Well,
Yeah,
that's beautiful. I mean, I was saying I couldn't do it either when Tobias was doing it in this story. I couldn't do it either. I didn't have that facility like some people can just sit down and have a good cry. I mean, I wouldn't even know how you do that. I don't know how you
yeah,
do that, right? And it's like it's not us that does it. It's energetically when it occurs, it will appear to occur. But it clearly seems to be going on there, and that not being seen. God bless you, brother. That's exactly the non-judgment that we're talking about. Like that, that's the fig leaf in Adam and Eve. They were seen when they tasted duality. They saw that they were naked. They were seen, and they had to put on the fig leaf because they felt that separation of being looked at and being spotted. And it's a curious position of wanting to be separate and not wanting to be seen. I remember in Tobias's story, there was a horrible phase where I could barely enter a room. I would half come into a room. I didn't even want to fully cross the threshold. And I can totally empathize. But
yeah. That's really reassuring because it just feels like yeah, like literally like going into a room, meeting new people, like looking people in the eye. Everything just
yeah, I can do it.
Oh
feels
yeah, I couldn't
it
either.
feels like the glare feels really strong.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, when that
yeah,
illusory sense of separation is there, that can be very intense. Like these other people looking at me,
mm,
you know?
yeah. Yeah, that feels um that feels really reassuring that other people have also like experienced
Oh,
that. So
Yeah, totally.
uh,
totally.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
thank
there's
you.
nothing special about speakers. There's nothing special that we didn't get some cheat code. We didn't work it out. It's just nothing like that. It was exactly the same horrible bits, mate. It was exactly the same confusion and difficulty. And like, what is the shocking thing is that doesn't resolve in a, aha, now it's all sorted. But the tension itself, that is that meat, which is causing all that discomfort, itself just relaxes. and what's seen, big inverted commas around that, after that, simply can't be described, because the describing or the description of it would be it too. There's no separation. There's just this. It can't be described, because, I mean, how would one expand on all that there is? It's already all that there is. It's just this.
Yeah.
And everything just kind of seems to happen, even emotions. I mean, yeah, like there used to be here as well, like, you know, a real like opposition with crying and like, oh no, like I need to be strong, you know. But yeah, that like once that kind of like unravels and unwinds a bit, emotions just kind of just can freely just express. Tears can just fall, and it doesn't have to be. There's not a dramatic situation. It's just what appears to be happening. Tears falling from the eyes appears to be happening.
I can't help but just want what you guys have. It's just like I want to be there.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
it was the
yeah,
same
so
here as well.
badly. I
Yeah.
don't want to be stuck anymore. I want to be there. I want things to just flow and, you know, yeah.
It is tempting to see it as something that's had, but like, you know, to have something is a friable, unsteady state. You know, you have it, you might not have it. I have it, it's there, and I have it. All that goes in total freedom. It's too spontaneous, it's too immediate. Like there's no knowledge what's coming out here. And so there's no experience. It's not Tobias gets to skip around and be really, really happy and free. Yes, Tobias's character is quite a friendly, free chap, but there'll be the same sadness and emotions appear. But it's just that without there being a center owning them or co-opting them into a story of my life, they're just very free to be what they are. What did you say the other day? Crying on the kitchen floor is just crying on the kitchen floor.
Mm.
You know? Like it's not, I am bad for doing that and I must sort my shit out, you know? It's just crying on the kitchen floor.
And there's no continuum or reality to past. So there's no connecting things to the past and, oh, I must be crying because of that happened last week, or, you know,
Wow.
because there's no sense of reality to that. Yeah.
Wow.
There's
There's
crying, anger.
there's a beauty in that. Just letting things be things being as they are. It's just it's beautiful.
Yeah. Nothing has brought this about. Isn't that amazing? I found that incredible. Nothing has brought this about. This has come from nowhere. It's going nowhere. What would a story even mean when nothing's brought this about? There's no past to this. Nothing has made this just this. It's already just this. It's crazy. And even if we talk about the past, say you and I talk about when we spoke last week or when we were texting this week, we could talk about that, but that would just be those words appearing in absolute immediacy, not referring to an actuality.
There's like a lightness to it. It's not that heavy weight of this really happened to me, you know?
Yeah.
Just telling a story.
Yeah, I do feel that with like my memories, like recently, like they just all my memories feel like a dream and not something that really happened.
Yeah.
And even time, everything has changed. Everything
Totally.
feels like
Watch out, that's how it starts. That's how it starts.
I don't
Time
know what to
starts to
say.
get a bit wobbly.
Yeah,
But
time.
wait till
I mean,
space starts to get a bit wobbly. That's really when things get freaky.
yeah,
When the
time's
word
been
here stops having a meaning.
yeah. I mean, time's been wobbly for a while now. It's been like this for like a year or something. It's been time and thoughts and everything and memories. It's all been really wobbly for a while. Space still feels the same though. It feels like no, can't imagine what that's gonna be like.
I mean, I'm being playful, I'm being naughty, making out it's all about experience. But like time does definitely get challenged for a lot of people in hearing this message. Memories, like you say, stop having the quality of being real things that happen to me. They're just memory. Like if you ask something to me, they would just be memory. but it's not a thing in time, just as you say. But regarding space, what's seen is it's the tension of that I, me energy that's engendering the notion of what here means. So the word here and what it means, not just semantically, but what it means, like the feeling of here-ness. Ah, I'm here. That's fully of what of the I. So that energetically is developing and engendering the notion of what here means. And of course, if there's a here, there's a there. So when that goes, there's just a this and an unknowable this. So, okay, Rachel and I are sitting in a room. Ordinarily, you could say that was here, but there's not a here to this. This isn't appearing in space or in time. So it's totally free. This is total,
Just
absolutely
literally
total.
everything energy, isn't it? Everything's energy just appearing. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, but you can't understand this conceptually. Like my mind has always been like a visual learner. So it's trying to imagine a here and a no here and all of, and it can't. It's trying, but it can't imagine it in any way. No. It's always been like this position, that position, this, that point, this point, but it can't imagine what you're saying. Although I do in a way understand what you're saying as well,
Yeah, that's the
somehow.
resonance. Yeah.
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 It makes sense and it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't make sense to the person, but there's an energetic resonance there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I know what you're saying is truthful. Like I know what you're saying is true, but I don't understand it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Big empty, if you want. Do you want to try your mic again? On my computer, it's saying it's responding. I might be wrong. It's up to
Can
you,
you
Big.
hear me?
Oh, it sounds I can then. Yeah.
So I'm talking.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Sorry, it was that one word we heard. You've gone again. I'm so sorry, dude. It's like it's just like in out, in out, in out. Sorry, man.
I have no idea what's happening with this internet. I probably wasn't meant to say it.
Yeah, sorry, Big Empty. We just can't hear you there. Sorry, dude. Hmm. You know, if I could just throw out there another little uh bon mot, another little amusing idea that may be of some interest, or I quail at saying assistance, but I feel inspired to share this. In the time when, in my story, when I was attending these meetings, there seemed to be a sudden seeing that what was being said in the meetings and what was being said in the retreats and what was being said in the Zoom meetings wasn't referring to a case that was going on specifically in those rooms and in those meetings. It felt like I was traveling out of my busy life, just like Abu was saying, once we go back to our busy lives and those work vibrations, we can forget what we've seen on a retreat and a meeting, we think, right? And so I would go there and I'd think that, wow, this is this magical place or this magical location or this magical speaker or person around whom or around where there seems to be this portal, this energy, this access to this realm of non-duality. And it was suddenly seen, shall we say, that it had nothing to do with Sharpham or Vedanta or Pax Lodge or wherever. It had nothing to do with the speaker, and it had nothing to do with anything. It was speaking about what already is the case. So what happened was there was a falling away of the idea that I can go to a meeting over there, or I can talk to that person, a speaker there, and I will be getting some of that non-duality. That whole idea fell apart. And it was seen that what was being spoken about was the essential nature of reality itself, that essential natural reality appearing as going to a non-duality meeting. And everything was just, there was a seeing that non-duality means not two. There's not two over there and two-ness here. Like this is duality in this realm or place, and there's a bit of non-duality there. That would never make sense. The mysterious magical energy of non-duality means there is not separation ever anywhere. Can't see it. It's his hobbit. Can't see it, but that's his hobbit house. What to show you. Glenn, I'm trying to view your magical house through the camera, but I can't quite get a view. You want to give us a look?
Oh, let's have a tour here.
Oh, cool, dude. Have a look there. All home built, unbuilt hobbit house. Sorry, everyone, I'm just admiring a friend's home built home. Oh, gorgeous.
Now we're talking. Wow. Gorgeous.
Cheers, Glenn. Guided tour. Sorry to keep bouncing back to you, Abu. I hope you don't mind me putting you on the spot. It's just you touch me with what you say. You know, like there's a lot of that from what you've said. There's a component there that obviously, you know, you're aware of it yourself. There's a component there that's looking for something to do about this. What do I do about this? How do I fix this? How do I find a way through this? Or how do I get myself out of this? You know, like I'm not kidding, dude. There was a point in a story here with the frustration of this that I was saying to somebody, you know what, I'm thinking of getting out of this and just going back to awareness teachings or going back to being a monk or something. Even that I know it had been, even though it had been seen through, it just at least it doesn't feel like crap. At least I was happy there, you know. But like I'm serious. I don't think I would have done it, but it was talked about. But like that's the burden of believing that it's down to me. I mean, that's the burden of which we speak, that I am me separate with the agency and autonomy and free will to set about affecting my will in the world. And I can do this and make it this way or that way. And I can do my me right. But that tension is precisely that essence of that me, that contracted energy of the me. And in the relaxation of that, that's absolutely not a thing that can be done. Because of course, that relaxation is a falling apart of the tension that's saying, I can do, I am here. So nothing gets done, nothing gets worked out, but that tension just bleeds out. Yeah, sorry, please, you want to say something?
Yeah, what you mentioned, I mean, like recently I've been having like the same thoughts and feelings of like I was happy back then just being like a regular Muslim, just going to the mosque, doing my prayers and everything. And even like a sense of betrayal. I'm like when I asked God like like many years back, like constantly like asking God for like grant me ease and heaven and all of that stuff. I'm like, God, you led me here to this pain. Is this what you wanted? Like you put me in this? It's like I just like yeah, there's been feelings of just I just want to go back, just back to how it was when it was just normal and it was all yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've been feeling that a lot lately. Yeah.
You know, there were some pretty horrible times in the story here. There was times of maximum terror, confusion, real disorientation. There was a couple of days, about a month or two before this fell away, where I didn't even know if I was dead or alive for a day or two. I was so confused. But I can't say, and it's all worth it, because that would be a fantastical story. But when it all falls apart, the glory of just this is so incontestable. There doesn't need to be somebody there to go, oh, wow, this is brilliant, relating to it. And all that story of the burden of effort and work and pain that might be thought of as leading to this is seen to just not even ever have happened. It doesn't even get to have its day in court of being judged as a good thing or a bad thing or something that led to this. It's just seen that none of these things ever happened. And that's the peace that comes from nothing happening. It's the rest that comes from there being no place I must go. And
I,
it's the
I
simplicity of
remember,
having no problem needing to be solved.
yeah. I don't know if this sounds like I mean, like one thing that's really like stuck with me that's bothered me a bit was a different speaker that I listened to, and uh, and he mentioned something about there being no me's or like people that have no me still living like horrible lives. He said something like that, and that really terrified me. I'm like, wait a minute, did this thing that I'm going towards that I'm hoping will grant me some ease and relaxation, and you're telling me that there's people that have no means and they live horrible lives? I don't I might have misinterpreted or misunderstood what you said, but that really scared me. Like, what? Like, what do you mean horrible lives? Like, it's like there's like nothing I'm gonna get at the end of this that's gonna make everything okay. Like basically.
Did you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's never any guarantee of anything because there's no continuum, you know? I mean, the body just still seems to, relatively speaking, the life just still seems, things just seem to play out. The body still does things, and it, relatively speaking, it plays out as it plays out. But of course, there's nobody to kind of control that or make that a certain way. But of course, the personal energy kind of wants that confirmation, right? Like, oh, okay, once this letting go, this energetic letting go apparently happens, then everything will be okay. Like the personal sense wants that, but it really is the end of that.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, my friend, what you're calling a horrible life is a story about a real thing. So even if Tobias or Rachel was in what you would call a situation as having a horrible life, it wouldn't be being suffered. It would just be horrible life appearing.
It's so weird. It's so
Fucking weird.
strange.
It's very weird, mate.
What does that even
Very,
mean?
very weird. Yes.
What does that even
Yes,
mean?
absolutely.
I can't even. What does that even mean? A
It's
horrible life.
absolutely beyond
I'm
imagination. It's
I'm horrible
absolutely
lifing.
beyond. It's nuts.
Oh, it's crazy.
And even more nuts, Abu. This is why I say I'm shocked about it each day. Not only is that the case, but the fact that you and I can apparently discuss the matter too with intelligence and relatively cogent sentences is incredible in itself. That this conversation appears to go on. And it's just words, wording. No idea what's coming out of here.
From
No idea.
nothing. Just wow. It's just
So free, so beautiful, so amazing. That's immediacy, mate. That's real immediacy. Like maybe like my back's bad and I'll be in a lot of pain and it's just pain appearing. But it's done with an incredible lightness. There's not somebody having a new type of life experience where it's really, because I know you sort of want the ease and you want the freedom and lightness. You think you're going to own that as the antidote to the way you think you own the lack of ease and lack of comfort. But it's not the case that that lack of ease and lack of comfort is going to be replaced by Abu feeling very at ease and very comfortable. The absence of Abu is in itself a place absence of disease and contraction. So there'll just be freedom. Adam will just be in paradise. He won't know he's in paradise.
There's nobody judging it as good or bad or right or wrong or it should or shouldn't be like this. It's whatever's appearing to happen.
It's still something.
Yeah, sure.
yeah. It's just unimaginable. I don't even understand that. It's just how.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
it's the end of understanding completely.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
you're living. I guess you're living, but you're asleep. I don't know I can't even describe it. Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
No.
And it never ever will.
Yeah.
Sense would be a story about it that's real and I'm comfortable with. That's what sense means. A story that seems to tick the boxes, accord with my understanding of the background reality, satisfies me, job done. That's sense. None of that stands. There is no sense. No meaning, no point, no hope. Divinely so.
Yeah, just free fall, unknowingness. For no reason.
Yes, I like that. For no reason it's nice to let that roll around the room, those words for a moment. For no reason. Some people will often bounce back, what is the purpose then behind this incredible exposure you're saying? None. That too I found quite confronting and terrifying. Like when it's really seen like the total purposelessness that is just this with nothing bringing it here and know where it's going. That's kind of has a stark terror to it all of its own.
It's strange.
It's
No matter
insane.
how this is
Insane.
discussed, it always comes over as a carrot. Do you know what I mean? No
Well,
matter
there's a lot of hungry donkeys out there in non-duality, or rabbits, I should say. It's probably less.
it doesn't matter how it's phrased or what way it's put, it always comes over as a carrot on the end of a stick. It's a most peculiar thing, and doesn't matter how many times you say what you say, it still comes over as a future orientated
Yeah.
carrot. That's and even hearing that it is the case now. There's no one there now, and I mean, how many times must this have heard that and thought, "Wow, that's incredible," and that the default position is the carrot.
Well, do you know, I accept that, but I tell you, one of the many reasons why I love that line so much is when I used to phone speakers up, and my favorite speaker was always Kenneth Madden. And when I didn't phone them up many times. I didn't go lots, but he was my favorite. And I used to, he was the first one who said to me on the phone, Tobias, there's already no you there. And it shocked me so much that I would call him and just say it again. Well, say it again. And he'd go, Tobias, there is already no you there. I go, wow. I will say it again. Say it again. And it's like, it can be incredible. And then we'll own the fact that that's incredible. And we'll go, oh, that was incredible. I just thought that was incredible. That was enjoyable. Now I'm going to do the dishes and think about something else. And like the hearing of that is, if that's really heard, that's the end. That's the end. There's already no you there. And the illusion is of Tobias is wrong. There is a me here, and it's here in this body, and this is my life. And that's precisely the illusion. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's 100% about energy, this. 100%. And it can just be heard, and then all bets are off.
And a sense of kind of just giving up the trying.
Yeah, I remember going to Kenneth Madden, and he said, "You didn't drive here, you didn't come here, you're not here," and it was like being slapped across the face. But I mean,
that's the thing. We don't want to hear this. The me does not want to be told it doesn't
there's
exist
something
and
that
it's
doesn't want to
meaningless.
hear. Yeah, absolutely. It's a strange thing. You come to these meetings not to hear this. It's like, you know what I mean?
Mad, isn't it?
To pretend to want to hear it, almost in the pretense of wanting to hear it. Yeah.
But underneath all that, there is the beautiful, beautiful sweetness of that divine child. Let's be poetic, that divine child within that's yearning for that total boundless freedom. There might be the contracted, habituated patterns of the me, for all you psychologists out there, you'd probably call it schemas, wouldn't you? Or gestalts, or heuristics, those patterns of behavior that are established and habitual, and they'll go on. They'll be going round and round and round. There's something about the hearing of this that just those habit patterns just become erratic and less able to form that same circularity. I'm speaking highly poetically here. And in that out of kilterness, shall we say, then the hearing of which we speak can just slip in. It doesn't require a different orientation of mood or anything like that. It's just 100% energetic. Like it can just be heard. The fabulous, unbelievable reality that there's already no you there. And like that, the hearing of that includes energetically that being okay, because the me doesn't want that to be the case. So there has to
No,
be that sort of energy of unconditional love
yeah. I
magically
feel like
there.
shouting. I feel like shouting to Ash,
There
but
you go.
I've got photographic evidence that I'm here. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It sort of
You
doesn't
might
want to.
appear to.
Do you know what I mean? Look, I've got the photographs. But it's just it fights us. It very subtly fights us while coming to these meetings.
Yeah.
It's just it's fucking crazy. Do you know what I mean? why come to a meeting that says you're not there so that you can't hear the message? That's
It's unfathomable. It's
it is
unfathomable.
unfathomable.
Yeah, energetic openness somehow. Resonating with the energy behind the words, in between the words.
I wish I got that.
You could say there's something like a direct exposure of the nature of natural reality appearing to occur. And if there appears to be an interaction with that, then that's already deep seeping into the bones. There might be a story, people saying, oh, I've been seeking for 25 years or whatever. But just by virtue of the fact that they're within this field of energy and they're talking about this subject in this way, that's already that energy of the me poetically falling apart, shall we say. It wouldn't really be possible to hear this message, this energy wouldn't be available if there wasn't something subtly asking for it, shall we say.
Well, I think a certain amount of it here is the memory of an awakening episode, X amount of years ago, and it was very blissful and all that sort of stuff, and lasted for it was timeless, but there's a constant. I mean, every day that memory's there, and I suppose that's what brings us back. But at the same time, it internally sort of, as you said, comes to this meeting not to hear it. It's just bizarre, absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, the personal sense doesn't want to hear it at all, but that energetic resonance is just flowing somehow. Yeah, this character was so frustrated and just like confused and fed up. Went to Jim Newman. This is just ridiculous.
Poor Rachel. Poor Rachel. In the month and a half it took her to get this message. The poor thing. Rich was really frustrated for that month and a half, David. Isn't that awful?
My heart bleeds custard for her. Oh dear.
It's so random though, honestly. This body just went to bed and then woke up and how do you explain that? You can't,
Well, that's what happened, with me all those years ago. The body woke up and it was like, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Hawaii, and he's a
Guys, thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem at all, Dave. Thank you. As we're nearing the end, if anyone has a quick question we can ask now, or I might invite, should we like to some sort of conclusion?
Okay, yeah. So this is the end of knowing. This is the end of understanding. This seems to be the end of trying. Just a purely energetic openness, a resonance. It's already this for every single body. Just wholeness, freely, impersonally expressing through each body. Nothing's personal. Nothing matters. There's no reasons, nothing to find. It's just aliveness. Life itself. Thanks so much, guys.
Nice. I don't know if you heard those who. Oh, cheers. Hang on one sec. Got it. I don't know if you heard, you guys who joined halfway through the meeting, but there's been a slight changes and adaptation rather, on my YouTube channel. So if you go on the YouTube channel, it's been slightly reorganized there. There's lots of new exciting things. If you go to the top of the YouTube channel and go to the links to more about me, where the website is, that will have a list of the upcoming live meetings and retreats that both I am doing and both Rachel and myself are doing jointly. That will be up there. There's also last week's Wales videos are up there too. Guys, thank you so much. If it's all right, I'm just going to finish a couple of minutes early this week. Thank you so very much, everyone. As ever.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, God bless you guys. Yeah, we'll be here again. Oh, that was a good heart explosion. Hang on, let me just do that one. Sorry, that was rather cheekily over. Thank you so very much, guys. Yeah, we'll be back next Sunday. Keep an eye out. We're thinking of some new Zooms. It's not quite been settled yet. We'll see. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so very much. Mwah. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.